last piece of victuals. Now, we looked at some things last night, right? One of the things we looked at was about not trusting in yourself. You know what I'm saying? When we sat back and we seen that messenger from the Assyrians told them, hey, man, come holler at me, man. Don't trust in y'all. You get your own vine, your own fig tree, and drink your own water. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that can be a real live hindrance to it when we seek to serve God, when we sit back and think that I can do it myself. I can push it myself. Instead of actually walking in the steps what he ordained. Now, we've been looking at a few things from Wednesday to last night. And hopefully we'll tie up all them things together. Remember how we looked at last night by he'll live by a sword? Remember I told you, they say he that live by the sword is going to die by the sword. Now, we sat back and looked at it, and I made reference. We didn't go all the way in depth. Maybe the Lord will before we leave here. We'll see how the Messiah lived by the sword and died by it too. But not in the fashion of probably what the average person thinks about it. So I didn't even have it in my mind to look at that last night. I guess the Lord felt need to just them niggas in New York, that stuff they be talking about on that, he just felt need to flush it down the toilet. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, little Lizzie. It's all good, little Lizzie. I ain't got nothing for Lizzie. But I want y'all to look at something in James chapter 5, though. I was talking with a brother about this here. So we need to go on here and do it. James 5 is about 14. Yes, please. Now, what happens now? So you can't see everybody. James 5 and 14. Actually, it's about 13. You want to get out? He says, is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing songs. Smell like grandparents. Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the synagogue and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of the faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. Now, I was talking to a brother about this here because remember I told you about a dude say, yeah, man, I lost everything I got. And he lost it because of his sins. And he was thinking, you know, we already know. What did the Lord say in John 17 about prayer? What did he have to say? Not in John 17. That ain't in John 17. That's in John chapter 9. What he said about certain thing about prayer in John the 17th chapter. You know what he said? That's John chapter 9. That's not John chapter 17. I said John chapter 17.
Well, I threw one out there. You asked me.
Yeah, I mean, I narrowed it down. But let's look at John 17 since don't nobody know what he said.
I can't know what he's saying on the phone.
Yeah, that's what he said, though. John 17, verse 9. He said, I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. So we know the Messiah don't pray for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting back looking at, well, is this meaning that anybody can pray and they will be saved? That's not what he's saying. He says, there any that's afflicted. Listen to the key thing he said back in James chapter 5. Is there any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the house. So if he say call for the elders of the house, then who they say to call for then? For the pastors, right? So then that means that this had to be somebody who would be considered to be in the body. So you just wouldn't be praying about it. Let's see if we see an example of that in Mark chapter 1, verse 30. Make it 29. Well, get your boot out there, boy. It's like that nigga pose with it.
See, he's beside you.
Yeah. Well, we can't have you around here like no Tyson Beckford, boy. That nigga there straight 65.
What?
That nigga said, somebody said, he said, who would you have sex with? He said, would you have sex with Obama? He said, yeah, I have sex with Obama. That white dude said, you would sodomize Obama. Like, and you would have seen how the white dude said it because he looked like a sodomite himself. Yeah. And they was like they would want to see what he was going to say. As soon as he said, oh, you're sodomized Obama. Say, I knew you was one of us. I think that was funny. You'd have to see it yourself. That thing was funny. That buddy said, oh, you're sodomized Obama. I don't know how Obama around here sodomizing nigga talking about he the closest thing to a Jew Israel ever seen. No Jew around here doing no junk like that. No Larry Sinclair claiming no Jew around here doing that stuff with him. Shoot. Sit your sweet booty butt down somewhere. Had the nerve to say Bruce Jenner was courageous. He said, how you courageous? Because you cut your penis off. And bought some silicone implants, talking about my name Caitlyn, getting on the cover of Vanity Fair. Then you got all the other American people, they like, oh yeah, they made a whole spread by it. And they giving them the Arthur Ashe Courage Award on the ESPY Award to trot this old freak show out here, man.
So he went all the way?
Oh, he went all the way. He cut his stones off. That's why we read that on Pentecost, man, in Deuteronomy 23. He'll never get in the body of the Lord. You cut your stones off, you done, you going to hell, buddy. It's over for you. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas around here getting their stuff clipped, you done. You know what I'm talking about? You go ahead and clip him. Huh? All that there, man. You might have went there left him. At least if you were cross-dressing and tucking, you might have had a chance. Now you done snip, you done, nigga. You know what I'm saying? What a nigga gonna do with you, man? Somebody coming to try to have... Then Dennis Rodman sweet booty behind talking about he want to date him. Come on, man. That's a dude. That's a dude. You think because he went and bought some titties and say, don't call... Like that nigga said when we was in the county. That nigga, Lil E say, Big Mike. Big Mike. That nigga say, my name ain't Mike. My name Juicy. But when what them officers call nigga, your name Mike, nigga. Call that, talking about your name Juicy. Talking about your name Caitlyn. Nigga, your name Bruce, nigga. That's how you show you how sick this society is. And the president come out and say that was correct. Ain't nothing courageous about getting a nigga penis cut off. Ain't nothing courageous about that. And then the other people talking about this is courageous, putting up pictures of the military, the police officers. Them bastards ain't courageous neither. They say you going over there to get killed for American imperialism. Always talking about if this country ain't this here, go to somewhere else. I say I am. I seen Pastor got a slogan that kill all them old Pan-African niggas. They talking about Africa for Africa. Nigga, screw that. Let me get Jerusalem for the Jews. Nigga, I don't want to go to Africa, nigga, because them Hebrew niggas be going hard. Y'all be denying your African heritage. Nigga, I ain't African, nigga. I'm a Jew. Nigga, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? But we done went through that before. Y'all remember when we talked about that, when I was telling you about that dude always talking about we African? Nigga, Abraham wasn't no African nigga. Say our father was a Syrian and our mother was a Hittite. Man, we Jews. I don't know nothing about no African nigga. Well, the Middle East is on the same, man. Spin it how you want it, nigga. Mama Africa for you, nigga. Jerusalem is the mother of us all. Ain't no Mama Africa. You tell all them reggae niggas, shove that up they booty hole, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you look crazy all you want. You know you was in the car riding around talking about Mama Africa and all that type of stuff. Singing right long. Nigga, I ain't from Ethiopia, nigga. I'm from Jerusalem. I don't care nothing about no Ethiopia, no Sudan, no Kenya, no South Africa, no Uganda, no Ghana, no none of that. I ain't trying to go to none of them places. Shoot, well, I'm trying to go to Jerusalem, man. I said, hey, bro, it's real though, because that's what it's a lot of Pan-African niggas in Atlanta, man. A lot of them niggas scream that, it go back to Marcus Garvey, man. Africa for Africans. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up now.
Ain't seen that nigga since. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen that nigga since. Nigga said something about Marcus Garvey, we ain't seen that nigga no more. Care nothing about no, now they going crazy because Farrakhan was on the Breakfast Club. I ain't even look at it. I don't even care what he said. They can say that it's the anniversary of the Million Man March. You going, you go, nigga. Going up there with them niggas, man. So what? So we can bow down and worship Barack at noon? No, I'm straight. Mark 1 and 29. Y'all got to start realizing that. I know y'all, mess around, you run across them niggas talking about RBG, revolutionary black gangster and all that Pan-Africanism. Tell them nigga, I'm a Jew, man. You keep that stuff. I don't want nothing to do with it. You go back to Africa, nigga. You go to Egypt, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, you go to Tanzania, see what they do with you. Yeah, we seen it. You gonna eat it. It's all right. It's a 5-second rule. Yeah, you can say you got loose lips. Around here dropping pistachios everywhere. Gotta leave my straight the whole bag.
Yeah, I ate whole bag.
I'm talking about when the bag came in here, the bag was standing. I'm finna say now the bag flat like shoot. We ain't got no strength left. And that's even worse.
I did take some of these.
Cool. No, you know, look here, man. Ain't nobody talking to teeth. Them pistachios got to do with Mouse. Mouse eating all them. Look at her too. She's steady going in that thing. She don't stop.
they came in with the munchies, that's what that was.
Oh, yo, you been smoking? Well, y'all better leave that weed alone. Leave that stuff alone. That herb yielding seed ain't talking about you niggas getting high.
That nigga.
Forthwith, when they would come out of the synagogue, they entered into the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. But Simon's wife's mother lay sick of a fever, and anon they tell him of her. And he came and took her by the hand, and lifted her up, and immediately the fever left her, and she ministered unto them. And at even, when the sun did set, they brought unto him all that were diseased, and them that were possessed with devils. And all the city were gathered together at the door. And he healed many that were sick of diverse diseases, and cast out many devils, and suffered not the devils to speak, because they knew him. So we see they bringing people to the Messiah to be healed too, ain't it? We also see that Peter's wife was there. Let's see something else in 1 Peter 5:1. After that, Acts chapter 5. Because remember, he said, bring them to the elders. We just looked at last night. Didn't we just look at Esau say, you'll serve your brother? And when you got dominion, you'll break off his yoke. Remember, elders serve the younger, right? You see Yahshua sitting around here. They brought the people who were diseased to the elder. Did they not just bring the people that were diseased to the elder for him to heal them?
Stop.
1 Peter 5:1. Got to remember, Yahshua the chief shepherd too. Nigga kill me when they say the Messiah ain't had no wife. I say, boy, the first time I heard a nigga say that, boy, I want to spit in his face. Talking about he don't know what it's like. He ain't never had a wife. You mad that them nigga kill me, they married the wrong woman, they mad because she dragging them. You know what I'm saying? Man, I got this rebellious, stiff-necked woman. Well, put that hoe out or stop whining about it. I don't want to hear nothing about that old stinking hoe you got in your house. But the only thing I can know is you can't put her out because you live in her house. That's why you can't put her out. You know what I'm saying? Because I done told a nigga before, well, put the hoe out your house then. You steady going off on them because you can't be no woman being stubborn, rebellious, and disrespectful in no man's house. I'm talking about word of no word. You can't be nothing but a hoe. I done told y'all before, you ain't got to be slinging your vagina to in and everybody to be no hoe. There's certain things that go along with whorish behavior, whorish attributes. Slinging vagina is just the main attribute, but there's other attributes go along with it. You know what I'm talking about? And stiff-necked and rebellious and disrespectful and rude, and right behind you sling that booty to anybody that come on by. And if you sitting here complaining about you want to get your children away from this stubborn, stiff-necked woman, I say, why don't you put that hoe out your house then? And guess what niggas come on there and tell her, don't break up your house. Shoot. I wish you would try me. She sleep. I don't know where you going to sleep at. You can't sleep here though. Because you ain't going to put me out my house. You know what I'm saying? I'll put you out here. That's why I know the only way you ain't left or put her out because you moved in with her. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no way in the world. I ain't finna be in the house complaining about no woman driving me crazy. I'm just gonna leave. I done see too many dudes complaining about their wives, man. Man, my wife ain't this, my wife ain't that. Why you still there then? You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. At least with that young woman, they wasn't legally married. She put up with him slinging their penis around to too many women for too long. After a while, she said, oh, you got to leave here, but you can't stay here no more. I will no longer put up with it. And after a while, he had the strength and courage to say, no. No. Because as a woman, she's supposed to love herself enough to know, I'm not finna keep letting you around here dip your dunking stick in every cup of milk and then come back around here to me. And I come around here and my milk gets spoiled. Because you done brought back some bacteria. You know what I'm saying? So you just go on here, you stay over there where you at.
We call it a dunking stick.
Yeah, that's what we call it. That's that dunking stick. Dunking it in every cup of milk you find. You know what I'm talking about? He done came back around, now her milk curdling. He like this here, in trouble. Took that nigga to the homeless shelter. That's where you going at. I don't know where you going. Guess what? What's the only way that woman could put her out the house? Because he lived with her. But they told me how to live. She found him in the homeless shelter. She supposed to, where she found him at, that's where she supposed to left him. You know what I'm talking about? You come holler at me when you up out that homeless shelter. You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't gonna be shocked? Because you know what the nigga was doing. I gotta do just enough to keep a roof over my head. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? He kept slinging that penis. She slanged it right out that door. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it. Like I said, if you a woman and your husband don't want to obey God's word, why would you stay there? I'm gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? You know how much strength it takes. A lot of people don't really want to do that. It takes a lot of strength to separate from your spouse. You know what I'm saying? For the word's sake. And say, I'm abide, set apart in body and spirit. until the Lord see fit to maybe open their heart to serve their work. Because my soul more important than having sex or having a companion. So I'm just going to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stay here. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. Y'all women supposed to look at that. That's why I tell you, if you know you want to get married, better make sure you only spend that card one time. I just was talking to them brothers about that, Corey and Troy and Delta about it. You only spend that card one time. Better make sure you spend it right. You know what I'm saying? Especially you women, you got to obey that man. Get you a fool, oh boy. Oh boy. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, since I mean, let me finish this 1 Peter 5:1. Say the elders which are among you, I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of the Messiah, and a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. So that's why we went to see how, because we done did it before. So you know, Peter had a wife for him to be able to say, I'm an elder. So Peter just wasn't an apostle, he was a pastor too. He held 2 jobs at the same time. You got niggas saying, I seen a nigga the other day say there are no officers in the body of the Messiah. But let's look at Ephesians 4 and 9. Let's see if the book support that before we look at Acts chapter 5. I'm going to tell you, man, y'all women better be sit back and look at that. Better make sure that's where you want to be at. Just like you men, you better make sure that's what you want to do. I was talking to Trav this morning. He told me, he said, yeah, man, I have my wife, and God forbid something happened to me. Would you still deal with their words? She said, I'm down with the Lord. You being here don't got nothing to do with it. He said, that made me feel good. Because I always said, back, look at it. It's a lot of women, they only deal with their man. They only dealing with the word because their man ain't with dealing with it. Not because they want to do it. And as soon as he fall off, they falling off too. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, sit back and look at it. Don't be doing that for no man. Do it for your soul. You got to be a fool to be doing that for a man. You know what I'm saying? Just like a man got to be a fool for doing it for a woman. Y'all to be doing it for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Look here, man. It wouldn't matter. We could have been married for 10 years. She died. You think I'm going to quit serving God because she died? Or she like to say, I don't want to leave. I don't want to be with you no more. I'm leaving. I don't want to serve God no more. I'm leaving. Peace out. You know what I'm talking about? Like straight up. I'm not going to stop serving. Well, I'm going to stop serving God too so you don't leave. I hope you like hell, nigga. I'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? We still married. You can come back. Your mind right. I can buy it alone. It's a lot of people, man. I'm telling you, man, they married and they spouse leave, they ain't going to be able to contain themselves. They going to go mess with somebody else. My wife leave, I'm good. I'm going to keep on standing. My soul more important than the little few moments of pleasure. That's stuff that's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling you, man. Pleasure. The desire to fulfill, that's why Rebecca, or whatever you pronounce that nigga name in 2 Kings 18, that's why he offered drinking your own water and your own fig tree and your own vine, things that you would seek to be pleasurable. That's why Satan told that to Eve. It do look like a fig tree that'll make one wide, pleasant to the eye. That's how Satan will lure to you. Try to tie to you what you want, what look good, what appeal to you. Especially if you lacking it and you don't have it and you know that you want that. You know what I'm saying? If you like sex, then guess what's going to always pop up in your face? Things of that nature, because I'm going to try to attack you with it. Because that's what you want. And the only reason why you want it because you steady thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? The nigga crafty now. What's the best way to get somebody to fall but throwing in his face what he wants? He is crafty. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, hey man, I'm telling you, whatever you like, he going to put it in your face. We just looked at it last night. We'll look at it again. The accuser of your brethren. That's what he do. If you put that woman in his face, I bet he had sex with her. That's what he do. Ephesians 4 and 9. 4 and 8 is good. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now he that ascended, what is it? But he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And listen what he said. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of the Messiah. Now how these niggas gonna say ain't no office? That's pure stupidity right there. And this man told us this twice, that there are offices in. He told you that in 1 Corinthians 12 too. Come on to Acts chapter 5. So we see Peter had 2 jobs. For all intents and purposes, you could say he had 3, because the testimony of Yahshua is the spirit of prophecy. So this man was an apostle, a pastor, and a prophet. You know what I'm saying? So you thought he was Jamaican when he had all them jobs. You thought the Lord was Jamaican. You say y'all work all them jobs. Acts 5 and 14. 15. In so much, we'll make it 12. Acts 5 and 12. And by the hands of the apostles were many signs and wonders wrought among the people. And they were all with one accord in Solomon's porch. And the rest durst no man join himself to them, but the people magnified them. And believers were more added to the Lord, multitudes, both men and women. Insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets, and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow some of them. And there came also a multitude out of the cities round about Jerusalem, bringing sick folks, and them which were vexed with unclean spirits, and they would heal every one. So now we see why James would make the statement that he making. You know what I'm saying? Those that are sick, bring him to the elders of the house, that the faith of the Lord, they might be healed. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to sit back and look at it. You know who else had somebody in the prophets we could see, find out what that? Let's look in Isaiah 38 and see if we see somebody in the prophets with the same thing. They hit the whole, even though we already were in the scriptures, we were looking in the gospel. But just for a smarty art nigga, let's swing on.
Michael.
To make sure that's what I want. Isaiah 38. About verse 12. I might go in the Kings area. Where is that? This nigga here. Well, make it verse 1 so you can see what's going on. We done looked at it before. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, came unto him and said unto him, Thus saith Yah, set thy house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then Hezekiah turned his face toward the wall and prayed unto Yah, and said, Remember now, O Yah, I beseech thee, how I have walked before thee in truth with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. Now let's go and drop on down, because he's sick right now. He had a sickness unto death. Let's see what happened. Let's look at about verse 20. Make it 19. Matter of fact, make it 18 so you can see. Listen what he tell you. This is why it's important you forget your mind right now. Look what he tell you now. For the grave cannot praise thee. Death cannot celebrate thee. They that go down into the pit cannot hope for thy truth. That means anybody who died who wasn't right before they left here, it's over with for them. I wouldn't care who it was. I wouldn't care how close you were. I don't care how you felt about them. If they left here without their man spirit, they done. They going to hell when they get up. The next time they open up their eyes, they going to be standing in front of that judgment seat. And just like we read last night, their name written in the earth, they finished. You're just going to have to swallow that pill and let that go, because at the end of the day, that person that's in that grave made that choice to be standing in front of that throne to be damned. Ain't had nothing to do with God. They chose that. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit back and look at what you going to choose. You understand what I'm saying? Is you going to choose life or you going to choose death? You can't sit back and look at it. That's why a lot of people turn away from the word. So you mean to tell me my grandma going to hell? So you mean to tell me my homeboy going to hell? So you mean to tell me? And they mad with God because of the choices that this person made. Well, they didn't know. You don't know what them people knew. You know what I'm saying? That'd be people's number one excuse about everything. How many of y'all have heard people say that? Or you said it yourself, that somebody didn't know something. So God gonna condemn them and they didn't know? How you knew what God showed them? Was you with that person 24 hours a day? 7 days a week? You'd be surprised the word people be hearing and they've been unrejected. You know what I'm saying? She sat back and told me her grandparents knew when the Sabbath was and rejected it. I ain't keeping no Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? You got to always remember, I told y'all before you leave here, God will let you hear something before you leave here. So if somebody left here, they already heard, they chose not to do. They made their decision. You know what I'm saying? They made their decision. So you're going to be mad at God because this nigga rejected God's word. I can't be mad at God for that. You know what I'm saying? If one of y'all would have go to hell, you think the dude asked me one time, so if your mama went to hell, you would think that'd be right? I said, yeah, I do. How could you say that? God's judgment is just. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to speak against God's judgment because God saw fit to send her. If he saw fit to send her, that means she was doing something that didn't sit well with him. So if you seen your mama in the lake of fire, you wouldn't cry, sure would. I'm going to show you why I would. Leviticus chapter 10, verse 1. Code Isaiah 38. Leviticus 10 and 1. I'm going to show you why I ain't going to cry.
Listen. Come on.
Come on, Tizzy, listen.
Is he?
She ain't moving. Leviticus 10 and 1. She ain't moving till they come back.
Come on, Liz.
And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before Yah, which he commanded them not. And there went out fire from Yah and devoured them, and they died before Yah. Then Moses said unto Aaron, This is it that Yah spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come not me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. And Moses called Mishael and Abzazon, the sons of Uzziah, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, Come near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp. So they went near and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as Moses had said. And Moses said unto Aaron and to Eleazar and to Ithamar his sons, Uncover not your heads, neither rend your clothes, lest you die, lest wrath come upon you, come upon all the people. But let your brethren, the house of Israel, bewail the burning which Yah have kindled. He sat back and told them, don't even mourn for them. Don't even shed a tear for them. Because he said, I will be sanctified on them that come near unto me. See, that also is something else. You know, Hebrews 2 and 11. He that sanctified all of one. Hebrews 12 and 14. If you're going, we still holding Isaiah 38. If you're going to come near to the Lord, guess what that means? You have to be sanctified. If you ain't sanctified, how you going to come near to God? If you ain't sanctified, he said, I'm going to kill you. Everybody that going, he said, I will be sanctified by those who come near me. You understand what I'm telling you? You see, he told Aaron the high priest, you bet not even mourn. These his sons. He told him, you bet not cry for them. You think that man ain't want to cry mourn for his own sons? Lord told him, them nigga did that to himself. You go ahead and cry for him if you want. I'm going to kill you. See, that's when they come up and they go to talking like this here. That's what the nigga told me on the phone on Wednesday. You too religious. See, you too religious. You heard the nigga. You too religious. Because I'm just going with what the book says. And when you don't want to bend off, stop. Because you knock it over, I'm going to knock you over. You know what I'm talking about? Now, if we was to go to the average person and tell him, yeah, man, if my son, if the Lord killed my son, I ain't going to cry for him. How could you say that? That's what the book says. Oh, you religious. I ain't religious. If my son sat back and killed, maimed, murdered, blasphemed, did all manner of evil before y'all, and y'all saw fit to take him out, why would I be crying for this nigga? And I say I believe in God. And he say he a God of judgment. And he a just God. And there's no iniquity with it. That means that nigga earned that then. You know what I'm saying? He shed no tear for that nigga. Hebrews 12 and 14. Make it 13. Make it 12. That's what you need to start realizing. That's what you need to do. Wherefore, lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees. Make straight paths for your feet. Don't we notice? That's the second time we hear about paths, right? And something we done looked at. It's going to pale into something now. Lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. Follow peace with all men and Kodesh, without which no man shall see the Lord. They were priests, right? We know if we join to the Messiah, we become priests. So if you're going to become a priest and be joined to the Messiah, that means you join, that means you come near him. That means you're going to have to sanctify yourself when you come near the Lord then. We already looked at that last week in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. He that joined to the Lord joined himself to a harlot. God forbid. Because he that be joined together be one flesh. You know what I'm saying? So we sit back and look at that. If we're going to come near to the Lord, then we're going to have to be sanctified when we come near him. You have to set yourself apart according to their word. That's what don't nobody want to do. You know what I'm saying? They want to come with that come as you are stuff. You can't come to God as you are. You better get that sin off your bite. Come on back to Isaiah 38. These niggas take a whole trip. How all you niggas come back from the bathroom at the same time? Y'all synchronized? Isaiah 38, verse 19. We cheating mouse?
Look like Thug.
I tell Mouse was always in class writing a nigga, cheating on a nigga page.
Yeah, right.
Ain't nobody trying to cheat off you, nigga. Now that's what niggas like, nigga, please. Cheating off niggas test, say nigga can't even get a kiss out of him. You done cheated all on the test.
I never cheated on no.
Nigga don't believe you, man.
If we cheat, I cheat on the teacher's desk. You better know.
They don't believe y'all, man. I told you, man, they don't believe y'all, man. They cheated all off a nigga test. Nigga say, can I get a hug? Can I get a peck on the cheek? Can I get something?
Nah, we got it.
Yeah, I know you think, boy, I'm talking about, boy, be kidding. Y'all be ready to tell all these stories at the wrong time. You know nobody really cares, right? You ain't telling the story. Talking about how y'all cheating off the teacher's desk. We used to get y'all started, you'll never stop. You gonna tell it all. We know you gonna tell it all. And Mouse gonna deny it. I don't know nothing about that story. I don't know nothing about that story. They say T tell it all, Mouse deny it. You know what I'm saying? You roll your eyes all you want now. I make them stay back there like the Undertaker. I ain't the one. See, she don't know, boy. I'm talking about I slide that nigga across the whole house, make that nigga sleep on the back porch in a tent. Who? They don't try it. You try me, you find out. You eat out a doggy bowl. You know what I'm talking about? Put all your food right in the dog bowl. I don't care how you heat it up, I don't care what you do with it. You sleep outside. Ooh, roll your eye, that's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, fat boy you'd be able to do it. That Undertaker, he roll his eye like that, you roll your eye like they gonna stay like that. They hit you with the elbow so fast, woo! They be right up on your feet. Verse 19, Isaiah 13. The living, he shall praise thee as I do this day. The father to the children shall make known thy truth. Yah was ready to save me, therefore we will sing my songs to the string instruments all the days of our life in the house of Yah. For Isaiah hath said, let them take a lump of figs and lay it on the plaster upon the boil, and he shall recover. Hezekiah also said, what is the sign that I shall go up to the house of Yah? You heard how he say the living will praise thee? The living. He's saying the father to the children shall make known thy truth. Why is that important? Hush it up, boy.
Leah?
What she do to him?
Got it toward his hand like that.
I told you, Leah rough now.
He hit him up for that.
Come on, man, suck it up, man. You ain't no little girl. You're crying like a little girl. You let a little girl get you and you crying.
Man, Josh over here picking on you, bro.
Ain't too. I tell you, man, Leah vicious, man. You gotta watch her. She'll snatch something out of child's hand. She snatched something real fast. I had to stop her several times. When that was Monday. I'm like, man, you can't do him like that. She turned, she like this here. I see her, man. She snatched up, man. I'm talking about ruthless. Ruthless. She saying like this here. The first thing they were playing with something, he was playing with it. That nigga said, mine. I said, no. You find something else to play with. He had it first, but then he getting there swinging the golf club, just hitting stuff. I'm too damn crazy, man. But why y'all think that's important? The living shall praise thee. Well, let's look at Luke chapter 9. About verse 58. 59 actually. And he said unto another, follow me. Remember, he said he makes some straight paths for your feet. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go bury my father. Yahshua said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou preach the kingdom of God. We also know when the Messiah rose from the dead, that's what the angel told them, why you seek the dead from amongst the living. Or seek the living amongst the dead. He said, it's the living shall declare thy truth. See, these niggas talking about how y'all worship that zombie God. You know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff. That man alive. That man ain't dead. These niggas want you to believe that this man died. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, they want you to believe he dead. Talk about he a zombie. That's how you know the nigga been watching them white folk talking about a zombie. That's what they use to mock the resurrection of the dead. I done told y'all that before. Verse 12 of 1 Corinthians 15. Suck it up, little girl. Nobody wants to hear it. Keep it on the inside. 1 Corinthians 15 and 12. Leah, sit down somewhere. Now, if the Messiah be preached that he rose from the dead, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? But if there be no resurrection of the dead, then the Messiah is not risen. And if the Messiah be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith also is vain? Yea, and we are found false witnesses of God, because we have testified of God that he raised up the Messiah, whom he raised not up. If so be the dead rise not. That's what these do. See, we understand the gravity of what we're saying. If we saying the Messiah, if Yahshua is the Messiah, the true Messiah, and we saying he rose from the dead, and God didn't say that, then we lying on God then. Let's see what the law say in Exodus chapter 20, what should happen to us if we lying on God then. Verse 16. Let's see what the law say about it. Exodus 20 and 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So don't you think it would be a sin to bear false witness on God? The soul that sin, it shall die, right? So if we lying on God, we ought to go to hell then. That mean the whole thing, that mean the whole time and everything we done ever looked at was for nothing. If this man did not die and raise from the dead. We just doing this every week for no reason. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm sitting here telling you why we looked at last night too about guarding your grill, guarding your having that breastplate of righteousness on, which is a heart of faith. Well, I'm telling you, man, niggas be falling off. Boy, it was a dude, I'm telling you, dude just was telling me about it, and I got everybody in. Dude was telling me like, yeah, man, you remember such and such? I'm like, yeah, I know it. I ain't seen that nigga online in a minute. I figured the nigga just deleted me. That nigga say, yeah, man, that nigga done threw the whole book away. Nigga say God is a sadistic killer. He don't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Dude talking about burning Bibles. And it's funny too that when these niggas stop dealing with the word or stop believing in the Messiah, you would have once thought that brother that was so humble. Now it's F you, nigga. I hate all you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas go hard like that, like they get real abrasive, real aggressive, disrespectful, rude, and all that. This stuff already be in their heart. You know what I'm talking about? But it's the fight, dog. This is why I'm sitting there telling you what we've been looking at a lot lately. We know we're supposed to keep the man law. We just read it, Hebrews 12 and 14. You got to be Kodesh. Anybody who come near to me got to be set apart. But you got to have a heart of faith. Like I told you when you was on the phone and you heard them two dudes talking. They never mentioned having a faith in God one time. It was always law, statute, commandment. Law, statute, commandment. Law, statute, commandment. We know we're supposed to do that, but that don't develop a heart of faith. Because if somebody come with some information you ain't never heard, and your heart is not established in the faith in the Son of God, in the Word, a nigga can shake you. Because all you got to hold on to is law, statutes, and commandments. I give you an example, because the same dude who you heard on the phone got shook up by that. Nigga came and showed him stories about Horus. See, Horus was called Lord of Lords. Horus was born of a virgin. All this whole other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you actually don't know the Son, and all you know is law, statute, commandment, a nigga slide in with their Horus stuff, and you shook. I don't know, man. This stuff looks similar. I got to do some research. But if you already knew the Son, you would already be able to know. Oh, see, nah, the Lord don't line up nowhere with that. See this here, whoop, 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 whoop. You ain't got to go ask nobody else. It ain't the same. And that's how niggas fall off. Because you knowing you Israel and law, statutes, and commandments only going to go so far. That's what we went and looked at last night. The law is not a faith. You don't have to believe in God to do that. And that's how niggas fall off. You ain't got to believe in God because you keep no Sabbath. You don't believe in God alone. That's not alone. I mean, you got to believe it to a certain extent because you wouldn't do it. But in actuality, niggas is doing it, but they actually don't believe. Because he sat there and heard it. He was on the phone while I was on the phone with these dudes for about 30, 40 minutes. I had already been on the phone with him for a good little minute. You know what I'm saying? And every time the dude say, what's your foundation? 1 Peter chapter 2, he said the foundation was the Torah. Let's see what the words say the foundation is. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 6. He said, wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious. He that believe on him shall not be confounded. Unto you therefore which believe, he is precious. I'm going to show you this in a minute. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense. Even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto as they were appointed. It was appointed for these niggas to perish. But you heard something he just said, though? To those that believe, he is precious. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people consider diamonds, which they're really not, to be a precious stone. You know what I'm saying? Really precious stones are rubies and sapphires and emeralds and things of that nature. Because they actually more hard to find than a diamond. You know what I'm saying? These people tell you it takes billions of years to make a diamond, yet they everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And we just sat long and went with it. It's a thought. It take millions. You know, the earth got to come up with all that. They tell you oil is a non-renewable resource. It take billions of dollars for it, yet y'all ain't look like you're nowhere close to running out of it. You know what I'm saying? Then the same book these people say they believe in don't even state the earth that old. Now that it hit my mind, I meant to mention this to y'all the other day. Let's come over here to this first part in Matthew chapter 13. Because I seen Mouse didn't know this. And it ain't that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, you don't know. She didn't know that Venus was a name of a god. Yes, she didn't know. But you know what I'm saying? But yet niggas was stuck copying off your page. Yeah, she had the raising and stuff she didn't know. But I'm going to tell you something. I mean, it's not a big deal. If you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would tease her about it in the house, but Matthew 13 about verse 44. I mean, we'll sit back and mess with you. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know, you don't know. Because I could look on her face when she seen it like, I didn't know. And I'm like, you didn't know Venus was a god? She was like, no, I didn't know. But every planet is named after a god. Every one of them. Whether you know it or not, even Earth named after a god. Our God, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. Mercury, like she didn't even, I mean, a lot of them, I like to say, and she probably just didn't remember. I'm going to just say she didn't remember. I went to running them down. T knew them. She didn't remember. Like Mercury, you know what I'm saying? I forget who Mercury is for the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? What his name?
Dang, I want to say war. That's what I want to say.
No, that's Mars.
Okay.
Mars is the Roman god of war. Like I told you, when you see them walk up and down the red carpet, they actually giving homage to Mars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Venus, Saturn, Neptune is that fish god with the little thing holding that there. That go into what Tamara just put in there talking about don't get chicken to sea, which I get star kids anyway. But she say chicken of the sea got, you know, mermaids. Ain't no watching no Little Mermaid because that's a siren. That's that vision that people had. She'll sing a nice song and then when they got there, she ate them. You know what I'm saying? They be like, she looks so beautiful. She beautiful, all right. She finna eat you, boy. She's a man eater. You know what I'm talking about? Not like that, a man eater. Swallow men whole. That's how niggas get got now. That's probably where Hall & Oates got that song from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Days of the week too. Watch out, boy. She'll chew you up. She's a man, and guess what? You had a young girl growing up talking about, I'm a man eater. I think Trina had to tell she's a man eater. No, you's a slut. At the end of the day, but that's how crooked this society is. It takes something that's actually detrimental and make it seem like it's appealing to do when you actually damaging yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and most importantly, spiritually through your activity. Because they try to make evil good and good evil. You know what I'm saying? Pluto, he old false god. Jupiter, I think Jupiter was, I think that's Zeus. If my memory serves me correctly, I think he's the Greek equivalent of Zeus. Which ain't nothing but the Egyptian equivalent of Osiris. You know what I'm saying? All these planets named after other gods. And the only one that ain't on the surface is Earth. That's how you know. Something like that, when you sit back and look at it, y'all got to be the true and living God. All these planets named after idols, except one. The one we live on. And Lord will, before we leave here, I'll show you how the earth is actually the sun. Actually talking about the sun. Because earth, world, I forgot one of the definitions of earth, but it's actually like rulership or dominion, not just soul. Or not just a planet. Matter of fact, that it's in my mind, I'm going to mention this here to you. Don't buy this phone. I don't even know if they make them still. But don't buy this phone. Because this phone got the name of a false god in it, and I got to pull it.
My fault.
It is called an HTC Droid Iris. E-R-I-S. That is a Greek god. You know what I'm saying? That is a Greek god. They probably, I'm thinking that y'all looking to buy no HTC phone, but if you see a nigga name got on there talking about his name Iris, you leave that nigga right where you found him at. You know what I'm saying? I know one of the brothers was asking like, well, should I buy a Mercury car? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't buy one personally, but I ain't gonna. No, it is what it is. It's some of this stuff it's gonna be hard to escape. I wouldn't buy no Mercury though.
Man, I ain't kidding.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but you didn't realize that was no false god. I wouldn't go buy one though. Like right now, I wouldn't be like, I'm finna go get me a Mercury such and such. No, I'm gonna just get a Ford.
The names that have
Same car.
The names that have the car.
You all right on the dog? On the dog?
Like all the style.
Okay, you say that's Diana.
I
That's
think
true.
Nissan is Nissan.
Diana is actually at Startech, which is Asteroth, which is who they celebrate on Easter.
Michael.
You know, they wanted to kill Paul by talking about Diana from Ephesians. We'll look at that too. They wanted to kill Paul about that. Say, don't you talk about Diana. Let me read this Matthew 13. Matter of fact, let's go over to Acts 17. Hold Matthew 13. So you better not talk about him. Say, great is Diana from Ephesians. We'll kill this nigga. Make sure that's what I want.
Well, get out, baby.
Yeah, I see it. You know, Chester, I hear you, Chester. Acts 19, about verse 22. Make it 21. Acts 19 and 21. I want Acts 19 and 21. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. Y'all all right? I appreciate it, though. After these things were ended, Paul purposed in spirit, which he passed through Macedonia and Achaia to go to Jerusalem, saying, after I've been there, I must also see Rome. So he sent into Macedonia 2 of them that ministered unto him, Timotheus and Erastus, but he himself stayed in Asia for a season. At the same time there arose no small store about that way, for a certain man named Demetrius, a silversmith, which made silver shrines for Diana, brought no small gain unto the craftsmen. When he called together the workmen of like occupation and said, sirs, you know that by this craft we have our wealth. Moreover, you see and hear that not alone at Ephesus, but almost through all Asia, this Paul had persuaded and turned away much people, saying that they be no gods which are made with hands. So you know what they mad at Paul about? Nigga, you messing with my money. You know what I'm saying? This ain't really got nothing to do with the worship of the God. They could care less about Diana. You messing with our money. And guess what he went and did? Went and got some more niggas. You notice how we eat, man. And he telling people, she ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have to kill it. We gotta drop it down on this nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is what he say. So not only this our craft is in danger to be set at naught, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed, whom all Asia and the world worship. So they just showed you what really in their heart. They didn't say Diana would not get worship. They first concern was we ain't gonna get no money. That really be showing what people's heart be at. They really don't really serve the God, even the true and living God. It's what I can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the first thing they didn't say, oh, and then the temple gonna be despised. First thing they looked at is, man, we don't get no money. That nigga ain't say that one time. He said it twice. So that let you know where his mind was at. I'm telling you. He's saying when they heard these sayings, they were full of wrath and cried out, saying, Great is Diana of Ephesians. You see how he stirred them up? See, he stirred them up about that cash. They wasn't mad about that. They mad about that cash. I don't know who this nigga Paul is. Nigga, last week, boy, I was making about $5,000, nigga. Now I'm only making $1,500. Shoot, boy, I'm looking for that new chariot, man. That nigga messing with my money. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, man, you want a nigga get a nigga mad, mess with their money. When you look at the scribes and Pharisees, they wasn't mad at really what the Messiah was preaching. They were mad because they were going to lose their place in nation. I'm going to lose my money. I'm going to lose that status I got. That's what I'm mad about. We got to kill this nigga. If they could have kept their status and their money and where they was at, you think they would have had a problem with it? Ain't worried about this nigga. As long as I got mine. As long as I'm getting mine. You know what I'm saying? That's why I meant you look at Creflo. Niggas go to exposing Creflo and TD Jake about the stuff they doing. They get mad because you messing with my money. They don't care nothing about the preaching. Just don't mess with my money. Y'all got to be able to see that type of stuff. Y'all know y'all done been in a situation y'all done got upset with somebody because somebody doing something messing with your money. You know what I'm talking about? It don't matter. It ain't got to be a no great degree or nothing, period, man. That's it. If you want to, especially a man, you want to make a man upset, mess with his money. That's why a lot of dudes in the grave right now. That's why a lot of niggas snitch on niggas and set niggas up. Because nigga done came around his way. He done went to eat a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Now this nigga pockets low. That's that time that nigga McDuffie, he dead now. That nigga used to walk past the spot. This my hood. Because we around here selling weed. Nigga, you don't even sell weed, Craig. That's his real name, though. His real name was Craig. You don't even sell weed, Craig. What is you mad about? You don't even sell weed. I'm talking about the nigga would be mad. The nigga would send other niggas to cop bags for him. Nigga know the weed was good. He send other niggas to do it. I literally was sitting out there in the yard one day smoking a pipe and watched this nigga walk past. It's my hood. I don't want to sell weed, Ryan. I'm sitting there like, Craig, you don't even sell weed. You mad? Nigga, we ain't selling, but these nickel bags ain't really making a dent on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we ain't selling no way. We selling nickel bags. And nigga is mad. You remember that old funny looking nigga used to drive that Oldsmobile, used to be mad, used to send other niggas to get the weed because he didn't want to come there and get it himself? Nigga mad. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that type of anger, well, that move nigga do something to you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So y'all look at that type of stuff and you see it, man, that nigga just hate. Boy, that same nigga you think just hate will be around here looking for a week to send a nigga around there, blow your whole dome loose.
Oh, we got knocked off. I thought it was something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole time thinking somebody want this whole raggedy hole. Nobody want this whole raggedy basic hole but you. And Big Dog. But that is the other. Why y'all think I was telling y'all nigga be out the spot, staring out the window with the 45? I know where we at. Niggas is mad. They wasn't mad about the base.
See what they ran over crushed bicycle?
Yeah.
Threw it in front of our house?
Yeah. Nigga mad. We ain't serving none of they smokers. All the smokers coming to the house, that's they people. We ain't touch none of they mad because niggas selling weed. 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 And you ready to kill a nigga. How you gonna run a nigga bicycle over? That's how we feel about y'all. But at the same time, we know where we at. While you laughing, well, that's a city letting know, boy. Keep your hand on the heater.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? You sitting back looking at that nigga crazy. They ran over, nigga. We out east. Shoot, I don't take that lightly.
It seemed petty, don't it?
Yeah, it seemed petty to them niggas. Got niggas around there on the side of the house, the back of the house, the front of the house, ready to blow a nigga whole dome loose. Cause we out east, man. These niggas is treacherous.
Yeah, they can't hold their head.
Only reason why we wasn't worried about the backyard, boy, cause both were gonna eat everything back there. Them niggas ain't even want to go nowhere near the backyard. That wasn't your average Rottweiler. That nigga got hold to him. They were done. They were done. I'm serious though. Them niggas know the backyard was off limit, pretty much, and pretty much coming off the road, the left side of the house. They not coming nowhere in that. They might could be able to slide on the right side of the house, coming down when you come on Buckman, come off on the 22nd. They might could slide on that there. The only thing the option they had is the front. Nigga gonna be able to see you from the front. You not gonna be able to come from the back. Cause that dog gonna go off. Nigga know that dog just don't bark for no reason. That means somebody bite them. Something that small, man. I'm telling you, man, y'all done been on jobs with some of y'all jobs. These people done went and told on you because they felt like you were doing more work and you got a little bit of raise. They found out you got a raise and they didn't, and they mad. You know what I'm saying? Or you working too hard, they might promote you and all that type of stuff. People get mad about that type of stuff. You got to watch it. Because you sit back looking at it, they stirring these people up to kill Paul, not because they care about their idolatrous God, because of their money. Because of their money. Y'all sit back and look at it, man. The book show you how the nature of men, how men operate. Acts chapter 19. Let me start that. About verse 29. And the whole city was filled with confusion, having called Gaius and Artarchus and men of Macedonia, Paul's companions in travel, and they rushed with one accord into the theater. You see how he got them all confused? That's all it took. Mention about that money, mention about that God, everybody confused. You know what I'm saying? All they want to do is cause an uproar. That's all they was looking to do, was cause an uproar. And a certain of the chief of Asia, which were his friends, sent unto him, desiring that he would not adventure himself into the theater. Some therefore cried one thing, and some another, for the assembly was confused, for the most part knew not whither they would come to. Ain't nobody know what's going on. All they know is that, man, that sounds for me, that's what happened when niggas get mad. Everybody in here arguing, don't nobody know what's going on, don't nobody know what everybody mad about. Only the people who started it. How many of y'all done seen situations like that? You done seen that before? I ain't talking, it ain't got to be a whole gang of people like this here, but just a few people all together, niggas mad, don't nobody know why they mad. I done seen that. There are niggas going off, don't nobody know what's going on. Man, I heard such and such said this. Well, I heard this.
Let's jump.
Shoot. Well, niggas done got beat up and killed by stuff like that. Don't even know what's going on. Then they come to find out what they thought it was. Now somebody been Mardi Gras or dead for nothing. Because, boy, if it wasn't for the Lord, they were going to kill Paul. You better believe that. Listen what he said. And they drew Alexander out of the multitude, the Jews putting him forward. And Alexander beckoned with the hand, and he would have made defense unto the people. But when they knew that he was a Jew, all with one voice about the space of 2 hours cried out, great is that. Once they found out he was a Jew, nigga, screw your God. What you think these people will do to us now once they find out you're a Jew? And you know they a Muslim. They said for 2 hours, they screaming out. You just imagine you round Muslims. Allah Akbar for 2 hours. Allah Akbar. And they be like, is you tired yet, nigga? Listen, what else he say? And when the town clerk had appeased the people, he said, you men of Ephesians, what man is there that know not how the city of Ephesians is a worshiper of the great goddess Diana and of the image which fell down from Jupiter? Seeing these things cannot be spoken against, you ought to be quiet and do nothing rashly. You have brought hither these men, which are neither robbers of synagogues, nor yet blasphemers of your goddess. Wherefore, if Demetrius and the craftsmen which are with him have a matter against any man, the law is open, and there are deputies, let them plead one of another. If you inquire anything concerning other matters, it shall be determined in a lawful assembly. For we are in danger to be called in question for this day's uproar, there being no cause whereby we may have given an account of this concourse. And when he had thus spoken, he dismissed the assembly. So y'all spared it, because he's like this here, when you got when these people took anything out of your temples or blasphemed your God. He just said ain't no gods made with hands. Now people actually turning to the living God and no longer worshiping idols, and you like this here, we got to kill these things. That's and the key thing of what we sit back looking at is that's what these people fear over here more than anything. Niggas always talking about they fear you being Israel and you having knowledge. They don't fear that. They fear you not worshiping their gods no more, because then they will lose money. And that's what's going to make them angry. Because you just see that's what made them angry. We not losing. Do you imagine if our people in mass stop celebrating Christmas, how much money these people would lose?
Big.
Start keeping the Sabbath and not going out of these people's stores and patronizing with them, what they would lose. No Thanksgiving, no Easter, no 4th of July. They'll lose a lot of money, and the same uproar that you seen in Ephesians then, you would see here now. Well, you niggas don't serve no purpose. Imagine how these white folks would feel if every black man that played professional sports, whether it be baseball, basketball, or football, where the game came up on Saturday, oh, it's a Saturday, I can't play. But it's the Big Ten championship game. I care less what it was. I ain't playing. It's World Series Game 5. Personal problem. I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no football game played on professional football game played on Saturday. But many games they do walkthroughs on it. I can't do no walkthrough. I can't practice on Friday. I ain't watching no tape. I'll see you Sunday though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about practice.
Talking about practice, man. Practice. You know what I'm saying? The NBA Finals ain't played on no Saturday, but games are played on Saturday leading up to it. But on the fact that you would actually see how these people really feel about us and how they really feel about our God, because they would no longer say, we're a Christian nation, Jesus Christ. We don't know nothing about your Yahshua the Messiah. That's blasphemy. Talking about your God black. You Israel, Saturn. We don't do none of that stuff. Kill them niggas. I'm telling you. Matthew 13. I'm telling you. Lord will. We be along to see it. You're going to see that. When these people start losing money, that's when they going to turn their hearts to less kill. Because you just seen that there. They were ready to kill him. When that man Alexander stood up and they knew he was a Jew, they went to scream about their God.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? That's what they went to look to do. Kill this nigga. Matthew 13:45. Y'all all right this afternoon? Thank the Lord. Don't eat my lizard now. That's it. Don't try to swallow her and take her with you. Talking about you gonna take her to North Carolina with you. She said she don't want to go up there. So y'all got bugs. What kind of bugs y'all got?
y'all got bugs.
I see 2 of them right there. Because they don't know what a bug is around these parts. No. You know, a bug around here, that basically a nigga say that nigga there a bug. You know what that mean when somebody say you a bug? Y'all know what that means.
No.
Go and tell them what it means. You gonna tell? You don't know what it means either. You know what that means? Somebody say a nigga a bug. You say a nigga bug, you kind of saying that nigga like a psych patient. You know what I'm saying? Nigga crazy. That nigga that bug, man. Yeah, he bugged out. They were going hard about that cookie bush thing last week trying to figure out where that came from. They were losing their mind about that. It don't even make any sense.
Yeah, it was her.
Y'all was with her though. Don't try to throw it all on T-Lap. You know what I'm saying? Y'all telling you. Yeah. Y'all was doing just like this. Yes. Y'all was doing all that. Going hard with it. That's what they do when that buddy do a good thing. That's what he doing. Matthew 13:44. Remember we looked at, he said that we know that he that believe that the Messiah is precious. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in a field. That which a man hath found, he hide. And for joy thereof, go and sell all that he have and buy that field. Now, why is that important? And where can we look at where we will see a similitude of that? Somebody taking a treasure and hiding it in the field. It's somebody who took a treasure and hid it in the field. What you got, Troy?
Judah in the Valley of Achor.
Yeah, the dude in Judah, the Valley of Achor, H-hand didn't it? You know what he took and hid in that field? Let's go look and see what he took and hid in that field. And Joshua chapter 7. You all right? Don't turn your head down. You all right? Leah, you better get him. We finna cut TT. Just say you ain't finna cut TT. Leah, you got that looking like you somebody supposed to be scared. One nigga come with Ricky Dragon Steamboat, you wolf. I know y'all know who that is. One day y'all go Google it. You'll find it. Nigga drop kick all your teeth out your mouth. That's a wrestler. I know y'all young, y'all know about it. Ain't but 3 people in here know who he is. That big. to my old people. Nobody old.
You gotta get
They say if you told me you gonna call somebody old. Now since you went ahead and did that and you opened that door, now I got to walk right on in. Cause boy, I came over to the house twice and Mouse looked like a 65-year-old woman. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga had that bonnet on her head. I'm talking about nightgown on, sitting there looking at my. I ain't know you were coming over here. I'm talking about looking bad. I had the key too. I walked right in the door. You know what I'm saying? That nigga just sat there looking. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, she looked like one of them old black women be standing right at the front door with that same bonnet and nightgown on, calling for Kingston with a hand on the hip. I told you to come in the house. No, you had clothes on the first time. She standing there, I told you to come in the house with them street like I'm embarrassing, just like that. Walk around the neighborhood with a bonnet on. Kingston!
You talking about smoking on?
Kingston!
Smoking on?
Just walking through the neighborhood.
Make it a little.
I'm telling you, man, Mouse look like a old. I'm talking about she just look like a mama. I'm talking about you ain't even gotta have no kids. She just look and look like one of them mamas just go off on all the children in the neighborhood. Smoking cools. Smoking cools. You don't smoke a Newport, she smoke cools.
She real black.
You know what I'm saying? Real black.
Real black. Ain't no crossover in that.
No, none. You know what I'm saying? You don't see no white folks smoking cool.
Newport, you might cross over.
You know what I'm saying? Cool. See like this here, hanging in her mouth. She ain't even got it lit.
That like a slim on liquor bull.
And she got a refrigerator full. Talking about her, my friend coming over here. Y'all go get in the bed.
My friend. My friend.
That's how the old black women talk. They keep that smoke cool and got that slip smoke in the house. Y'all going, I'm finna take y'all around there to y'all auntie house. My friend coming over here. All you want to sit over there and just drink slip smoke, talking about nothing. Yeah, we know, because we know old black women like that. That kept that slip smoke, kept that moat liquor in the house, pack a pole, kept that bonnet on their head, nightgown, going off on all the children. You know what I'm saying? See, y'all from the country, y'all don't get to see that type of stuff. Niggas, that's why a nigga know, boy. You'd have been raised up in the city, you'd have been one of them just loud cussing everybody children out.
What?
Because you be in the house going off on Kingston Avenue. What is you doing? What is you doing? She know I ain't lying. I'm talking about, we seen that when we was at the park the other day. She was standing there, that hand on that hip like this here. They say that's that old black woman stand right there. That's that old black woman stand. You know what I'm saying? Talking about you got it from your mama. Boy, that's 3-4 generations before you can got that there. I got passed down. Look how she got a hand right there. See what I'm talking about? Like this, I'm telling you.
It's in the DNA.
It's in the DNA. See, T ain't get that part of the DNA. You know what I'm saying? She ain't one of them old mean mamas like that. Be like they said, you don't want to talk to Kingston mama. It ain't mean like she be mean on nobody like this here. They like, boy, his mama do. Well, she'll come out the house with the bonnet on. She gonna embarrass you. You know what I'm saying? You'll come up there with the robe on and the house shoes on, bonnet, come up to the school. You'll do it too.
Straight to the school, ain't you?
Yeah, she'll do it too. Really do it too.
Walk right in the classroom.
Cause niggas already know you came to the school with the rollers on.
They said you been cutting up.
They been cutting up.
Cutting up. You know old word like cutting up.
You know what I'm talking about? You already know. Look at her. She use them. You be calling, you say be cutting up. You gonna come in there, and she gonna come in there everything Carolina blue. Carolina, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's how you know that's the old mama right there. Carolina blue slippers, Carolina blue. But this nightgown gonna go all the way to the knees. You know, like one of the long, not the short, with the Carolina blue robe on, black bonnet, walking in there. I done came up out my bed, they done called me, talking about you acting a fool in here, cutting up. I was watching my story. What it did? Bell already in hand. She just holding it. She just holding it.
Bell would have a whole heap of trouble.
Whole heap.
Whole heap.
You know what I'm saying? But we already know. See, I'm messing with you. But that nigga really did go to the school with the rollers in the head, though.
No, you ain't do that little boy, no.
Yeah, she did it. She came to service with rollers in her head. Thought anybody wasn't gonna know.
Who wear rollers in there?
This nigga here.
No.
Nigga see it now. See, she gonna come to school not with the bonnet on where you can't see the roller. She coming in there with the roller in so they can see it. Like, is your mama from the Jets or what? Yeah, you wanna leave it. His face say it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. It was funny when it was mouth.
Stop smiling now.
Oh man, I didn't got to mess with you. Joshua tried to say it for one. I didn't got to mess with you, but it did serious though. I was gonna go over.
no. Well, she got
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That nigga just know she just got that spirit in her. You know what I'm talking about? Old school mom, like you supposed to have had a baby in the 70s or the 80s or something. No, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? For real though, cause most girls our age, they don't got that flow there no more.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
they too busy turning up on Instagram. Worry about that kid.
You know what I'm saying? I was like this here, I'm gonna crack that nigga. She said, boy, she beat that boy so bad the other day, thought he had to claw the toilet up. It was the toilet. That's how you know that's that old school stuff.
They beat that boy for no reason.
But she didn't know it.
I wasn't there though.
She didn't know it. Cause she called her talking about I gotta buy a plunger. She hot, she gotta buy a plunger. Whole time it was a toilet.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Hey, you don't know it. Nigga, they told you sitting there looking at him, you sitting there talking about boo-boo. Toilet all messed up. I see toilet paper everywhere. What I'ma think? What I'ma think? I mean, who in here wouldn't have made that mistake?
Yeah, I probably would.
You ain't thinking about the vibe on the toilet, bro.
Went on.
See, I know you one of the parents, you gonna be in and talk to him while you do it, make it longer. Didn't I tell you? I know it. You gonna talk to him when you whoop too. Oh, we know she talked to him like this.
She did it in the house.
What happened? What? Slack all of that.
I'm telling you, look, we be hanging out here with her. She's steady going. Let the man put his business up in the street. I don't want to see his business. Let that boy put his business up.
I gave a nigga a wedge in.
That nigga had a wedge and a little wee wee hanging up. Nigga got tore up.
Nigga Shane, he said he probably with more Shane than Peter hanging out than
He
anything.
got 3 beans.
Like this here, he said, don't do me like that, mom.
Sit down.
Do me like that. Joshua 7:1. The children of Israel committed a trespass in their accursed thing for Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabadi, the son of Zerah of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing, and the anger of Yah was kindled against the children of Israel. So let's drop on down and let's see what this man took. Verse 20. 19 actually, make it 18. 17, 16. Just keep it in context. Them niggas, you know them niggas, that's the Hebrew nigga line. You gotta read it in context. He sees brother, you gotta read the whole. Yeah, I fought it, so what? She been holding that for a minute. But hey, I be having the pooping all up there, so what? I've been having the poop for 45 minutes. Hey, hey, I've been letting me know. Yeah, so what? What's your point? But you know what I'm talking about? But this is what a nigga say. You gotta read the whole chapter. Keep it in context. Man, I care less, nigga. I be having to sit up here, gotta urinate, gotta doodle, everything. Hey, sometimes you want to break wind. It happens.
No. Like, how you trying to speed past it, bro?
I ain't trying to speed past nothing. She said, I know what she laughing at. I've been letting her know, so what?
Hey, you got to time it too.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to time it.
But my whole thing is, this nigga probably be sitting over here farting the whole time. Won't say nothing to you.
Yeah, but she on the camera.
Now, see, the difference is I don't care nothing about breaking no wind. I'm a man. I let it be known, y'all fart. This nigga here fart all the time. Talking about spitting. This nigga here. That's why I say you look like one of the boys niggas. You know what I'm saying? This nigga be over here gonna be like this here. I hope nobody don't do this.
No, that nigga try to speed past it like he ain't do it.
I ain't trying to, if I tried it like I ain't
See,
do
when you
it.
do this, wall, and then you do this here. Yeah, I fought it, nigga.
So what?
Oh, bro.
What you talking about, nigga? But you fought and nigga be to smell your innards and you like this here what? I ain't got no shame. I'll tell you, I dropped it. I might walk past you and be like this here. Bah! Like this here, you better clear the air. That's when you want a nigga to get away right then. When you walk past, they go like this here. Wow!
Not the truck.
I'm telling you, like, but boy, I was locked up one time. That white boy just kept standing there farting. When that nigga looked at him, he said, "My nigga, fart one more time about it. I'm gonna knock you out, cause you invite me to your booty." You know what I'm talking about?
Make a call.
That real though. That real though. You go to jail around there, stand around a group of niggas, and you don't step back and break wind. Nigga, you around there for a nigga like this here, he thinking like you letting him know. It's him. It's some booty. You can get it. Y'all think I'm lying. Go to know what I'm talking about. That is a mating call. No grown man come up around no whole bunch of grown men go to breaking no wind. Something wrong with you.
Nigga say you like one of the boys.
I know I ain't going to jail.
You better not.
You can't let one ride, boy.
You can let one ride, but you're supposed to step back.
That's the main call.
No, what it is, okay. What I'm saying is, well, listen to me. What I'm saying is if it's 6, 7 men standing in a group,
And you come over there and you walk by.
and you walk by and just, oh,
You did.
okay, the first time, oh, stank nigga. You know what I'm saying? But you come back and do it. Or come back, or you just steady standing there by me and everybody talking, and you just breaking wind, and you ain't had the common courtcy to step away from everybody. So niggas only going by one or two things. You's a nasty bastard, or you saying it's some booty here. It's here for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, the same way I would tell you like that, the same way I would tell you how that woman signed me in the gym, let you know it's vagina here for free. Every man know when a woman let you know it's some vagina here, it's yours, you can get it. That's their way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be no fool now. We watch this nigga here, cause I know that nigga there, she look like a farter. You know. What's wrong with you, T? What you looking all sad for? Ain't nobody did nothing to you.
You look like she smelled what you just did.
She might have did. Better hold your breath. I remember that time that white boy farted in Fred's face. That was funny. White boy say, walk, walk. Slapped him in the neck. Joshua 7:16. He for real though. White boy farted in my homeboy's face, boy, he slapped him in the neck week.
I can imagine the reaction.
So he was like, he said, what did I do? That usually be their reaction. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the families of the Zarhites, and he brought the family of the Zarhites man by man, and Zabadi was taken. And he brought his household man by man. Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabadi, the son of Zerah, the tribe of Judah was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to Yah, Elohim of Israel, and make confession unto him. Tell me now what thou hast done, hide it not from me. Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed I have sinned against Yah, Elohim of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonian garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them, and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under. So he seen a great treasure, he buried it in the earth, didn't he? But in the process of him doing it, you know he ended up selling everything that he had. Remember he told you he'll give you the valley of Achor for a door of hope. Remember we looked at that? You know it ended up because of Achan trespass, he ended up, his whole family got sold into being killed. But we sitting back looking at a similitude of behavior. A man seen a treasure and he buried it and hid it because it was precious to him. Well, we have to do the same thing with the word. That's why he likened the kingdom of God to a great treasure that a man find it, he take it and he hide it. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to take this word and hide it in your heart. Hebrews chapter 8 verse 7. We just was looking at that last night in Romans chapter 10 and Ephesians 6. That breastplate of righteousness. That's faith. That means you're supposed to take that word and hide it. You know what I'm saying? That place where you hide it at, you hide it in your heart. That's why I'm telling you, that's how dudes fall off. Because there's no heart of faith involved. You know what I'm saying? It's law. That's not going to cause you to believe. After a while, you're going to become empty. And that emptiness is because the kingdom of God is within you, but that heart of faith ain't never been fostered. So you just give up and just feel like, man, it's just to control me. You actually don't know why you're doing. After this, John chapter 4, verse 20, you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. You're just doing it. That's why he say to him that believe, he is precious. It's a precious gift because you got to look at that silver and gold. What would that silver and gold he took be representative of? Matter of fact, before we even look at Hebrews chapter 8, let's look at 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 17. Let's see what that silver would be representative of. Because Isaiah already told you, you sold yourselves for nothing but what? You'll be redeemed without money. The people were redeemed without money based on what Achan did. Then what would that garment represent? He said, I took a garment and some money. That man said, I sat around and took this man's blood and his spirit, and I took the kingdom of God. I took the kingdom of God and hid it. It was a great treasure to me. I coveted it. I desired that. You know what I'm saying? 1 Peter 1 and 17. Make it 16. 15 even better. But as he which called you is Kodesh, so be ye Kodesh in all manner of behavior, because he that come near to me got to be sanctified. Because it is written, be ye Kodesh, for I am Kodesh. And if you call on the Father, who without respect of person judge according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. For as much as ye know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your vain behavior received by tradition from your father. When we look at Achan, did the people get that plague off of him because of the silver and gold, or did he have to give his life up? He say, who was but with the precious blood of the Messiah as of a lamb without spot, without blemish, and without spot. So you see, they say not with silver. You notice that it mentioned he took silver and he took it and put it in the midst or in the middle of the tent. You know what I'm saying? The just Yah always in the midst. He was showing you that silver and that gold with the Messiah in the midst. See, I coveted that. That's why he say, look at Matthew chapter 5. We come back to the covenant. Look what the man told you when he blessed. When he was talking about those who were blessed. Matthew 5 and 3. He said, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. See, remember, because he said, I coveted this garment and this silver and gold. If you thirst and hunger after righteousness, that means you covet that. You desire that. I want that. Matthew 13 just says somebody see the kingdom of God as a great treasure that he take and hid in the earth. We have to sit back and look at, we're supposed to covet the righteous things of God as you covet money, how people covet cars, people covet clothes and status. You're supposed to covet the word of God in the same fashion, and when you get it, because that's what most rich people do. You remember that nigga Big Dog say he knew? That nigga say, boy, that nigga say, I got $250,000 meal doing.
I heard him say
Meal doing. You know what I'm saying? Niggas say you gotta wrap that money up, but it's niggas who do this type of stuff. Get that type of money, bury it in the ground. They consider, y'all done seen Training Day, this man had millions of dollars buried in the kitchen floor. You sit back, you see that people take riches like that, they bury it in the ground. You always got people telling, let's go on a treasure hunt looking for some treasure. They take something they consider valuable and they bury it and hide it. Don't want nobody to know it's there. We have to take the word and do the same thing. Bury it and hide it in your heart. In the good fertile ground, like he told you. That seed fall in good ground and it bring forth much fruit. The same way Achan coveted that garment and that silver, that's how you supposed to be covered in the sun. Because both of those things are parallel to the sun. We read on Pentecost, let your garments always be white. I seen a Babylonian garment, I coveted it. So what you think about John chapter 4 verse 20? What you think you supposed to be covered? Ain't the Ruach HaKodesh what you supposed to be covered? Ain't that your garment to cover you? Both of them niggas like to sleep. They boot in there, huh? John 4 and 20. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahshua said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour come, when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. That's the whole key thing why niggas fall off, because they don't know what they worship. We don't sit back and go to sit back look at, oh, I'm going to show y'all how Adam and Noah made God just to show a nigga up. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to know what we worship. You know what I'm saying? He say salvation is of the Jews. A Jew is what? If you circumcise in the heart, that means your praise is in God and not in man. That means your faith is in God and not in man. If your faith is in God and not in man, that means you would know the things of God that he freely revealed unto those who are called according to his will. It means you would know what you were doing and why you were doing it. If somebody always talking to you, law, you don't know why you believe on this man and why you serve this man, so you just do stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just vain acts. Shoot, man, I'm an Israelite. I don't eat pork. But you tell lies though, on the record. I'm an Israelite. I keep the Sabbath, but you fornicate like it's nobody's business. I'm an Israelite. I keep the feast days, but you a whoremonger. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Israelite, but I got hate in my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Israelite, but I have no mercy, no compassion, no judgment, no faith. You're nothing. You know what I'm saying? The law will not produce that. No matter what anybody try to spin it, what the law produces is discipline. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? When y'all say that the law produced discipline, it don't produce faith though. It was never intended to produce faith. It was intended to produce discipline. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord say I'm an austere man, rigorously self-disciplined and uncompromising. When actually people find out that God is rigorously self-disciplined, that means guess what? If the Lord is self-disciplined, guess what we got to be? Nobody shouldn't have to keep telling you what not to do and what to do. There had to come a period of time you should know what to do. That means you would know what you worship. If you don't know what you worship, then guess what? You'll be undisciplined. You know what I'm saying? This is the greatest discipline ever known to man. Many people reject it because they hate discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that. Hebrews 8 and 7. Probably about 18. We'll deal with this earth thing, Lord. Well, I got to get this earth, man. Okay, he didn't throw you under the bus. I thought he was going to throw you.
All right, you look forward to it. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do it.
You say, do you the oop? You must have here.
I wasn't trying to do you like that, but I've been waiting. I know this nigga, he been killing you all day. I'm like, he going to probably say something.
You do him the oop.
He let you live, though.
Nah, it ain't over.
8, 9, it ain't over.
I already know it.
Hebrews 8 and 9. And not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yah. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yah. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. How else is this man going to able to be your God if you ain't took that treasure and hid it? Because that's basically you taking the son and you hiding him the same way Achan did. You taking that thing that he took and you hiding it. We just looked at the garments, right? Let your garments be white. The fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. What's the righteousness of God? Faith. You know what I'm saying? You can only get that garment if you believe on me, as the scripture has said. The silver and gold of this man's blood that he used to redeem you back. Nothing corruptible. Nothing that could be able to perish. Things that are eternal. He coveted these things. We supposed to have the same mind to covet these same things of God, the riches of God. See, we don't have that. You know, Yahshua told you, I have great riches in my treasure. Fine gold, durable silver, to never perish. See, we don't want that. See, Paul wrote to us in 2 Corinthians 8. He said, you know, the Messiah made us rich through his poverty. That through his poverty we might be made rich. That we might be able to taste the inheritance of God, which we were looking at last night. Adam was the son of God, right? He got an inheritance. He gave it to his son. Yahshua become the son of God. He's looking to get that same inheritance to his son. Basically that we would be set for, so to speak, another seed. You know what I'm saying? Because we will be born again. Look to be made in the image and likeness of him who created us, which would be Adam. Which means we would have to get the same inheritance that Adam had, because the law say the inheritance is supposed to go to the firstborn, does it not? And if we be born of the Messiah, then we know from Hebrews chapter 12 what? The General Assembly, the synagogue of the firstborn. You know what I'm saying? Because we would be just like the firstborn son. The law dictate if you in the image of the son and you put on the image of the heavenly and put off the image of the earthly, it would necessitate you receive the same inheritance that the firstborn would receive. You know what I'm saying? We had to look at it like that way. But come on around here to Job. I want to deal with this thing with the earth, but I might deal with it. Because it hit my mind when I was talking to her about it. Like I say, because she didn't know that Venus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But look at all, Job 38, or 41 actually. But when you look at all the planets, they named all after other gods. Even Earth. It's just little simple stuff like that where you know y'all the true one. Like this here, like how this planet got skipped to being named after a false deity. Say she is not well pleased. Job 41. I'll start at 28. 24, actually. Matter of fact, no. Psalms 139. Psalm 139. Psalm 139. Psalm 139, verse 12. Nah, Psalm 139. So this came to my mind. I need to go ahead and do this now. Psalm 139, verse 12. Matter of fact, make it 10. Even there, make it 7. I want you to hear what you say. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. So if he's mentioning that if I go to heaven, you there, and I go to the grave, you there, what you think he talking about? You looking like you know. You know. That's what y'all like to do, just smile. I don't know why they didn't call y'all smiling. Y'all ain't. Well, there it is. They call both y'all that? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shoot, ain't nothing wrong with smiling. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. Go on and smile. You know you want to.
Don't you smile?
Yep. I know you smile every day coming back from where you came from. Every day, just happy. Got clean water. Beds without lights. Like I said, like I said, you know what Tony was talking about. He said, man, they don't have no windows. No doors. You know that nigga ate pigeon? That nigga kept pigeon with his bare hands. Nigga say he know how to skin them and all. That's how they live over there. He say I got access to health care, and then I ain't never seen this type of stuff. They don't have that nigga walking. All we know is licensed beans. Not rice and beans, licensed beans. It's all right though. I still love it.
You can't move this one? You can't move.
No, that nigga came to hit that. So what you think that mean when he said if I go to heaven, you there, if I go to the grave, you there? Or basically, heaven and earth. You feel it. Ain't that what he told you in Jeremiah 23 and 24? He feel heaven and earth. Don't we sit back and we look at the Messiah? What Colossians 3 and 1 tell us? Set your affections on high where the Messiah sit on the right hand of God. Then we already looked at this man raised from the dead. He was in the grave. He said, if I go to the grave, you there too. Say, where can I go where I go from thy spirit? Remember, he preached to the spirits in prison. You can't get nowhere. No matter where you go, I'm there. He felt heaven and earth. But that man was up there on that tree. He felt heaven and earth, didn't he? That's what he's telling you. Where I'm going to go to get away from you. Verse 9, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hide not from thee, but the night shine as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. How is that possible, that darkness and the light could be alike? How is that possible? How is that possible? Listen to what he's telling you. How can the darkness not hide from it, but the night shine as the day? How is this possible? What, you want to take a stab at it?
Because the word is light.
The word is light, but how was it that the word was shining at nighttime?
When he was on the cross.
Absolutely.
Dude, come with a harder question, man.
Somebody come over there and jack slap this nigga right now. I got 10 seconds. But y'all do know this on the phone. What y'all think that's talking about? I ain't gonna say that out loud. I don't know if they heard it. I gotta make sure. It might seem simple, but stuff that seems simple don't be so simple.
Yeah, lights ain't know it.
Sure did.
Hey, see, that nigga think we got shame to say nigga I don't know. We ain't got no shame in that.
Sure did. You know what I'm talking about?
Huh?
You gotta break that thing down, don't roll him up. Rolling. Sparking.
No, that's not what we looking for. When that man was up on the cross, he made it go pitch black, didn't he? So when he was up on that cross, when it was nighttime, it still shined in the day. The darkness couldn't hide from it. The darkness and they were both alike to him. The sun became light and darkness at the same time. This man with everlasting life and death at the same time. It was both the same to him. Remember, he came on, he took on death. He took a little lower than the angels, being made a little lower than the angels. He suffered death to be able to make the captain of our salvation perfect through suffering. It behooved him to be made like unto his brethren for the sufferings of death. That's how the darkness at night, it was the same to the Father. He's sitting there looking at it. He life and death at the same time. They ain't even realize it. Remember, because he put that scarlet robe on and became our sin. He was death and light at the same time. Which goes back to what in the law where it was light and dark at the same time. What that's at in the law?
Oh, man. Egypt.
In Egypt. In Exodus chapter 10. Where it was light over the houses of the children of Israel dwelling, but darkness all over Egypt. See, that's what I'll be talking about on. For us, we sit back, think about this stuff. Oh, I know this. And you try to think, and you be like, you can't remember. Then you hear, you be like, yeah, that's what it was. That's where you can be able to keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why he say take the more earnest heed of the things that you heard, lest they slip. Because you taking this treasure, you hide it in your heart. You know what you worship. Somebody who only hear law, and they don't get no faith, they gonna fall off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only so much you're going to hear about that. We already know we got to obey the law. You know what I'm saying? We already know that. We know no idols. You know what I'm saying? No cussing, no smoking, no drinking, no fornicating, no whoremongering, no lying.
What that third one?
What?
Third one you said?
Oh, man.
Oh, all right. Just check. Just check.
He did you dirty, man. He doing you dirty.
No being boys either, man.
Yeah, no being a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? No Lizzie.
Ooh, come on, better do.
You know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying? We know Kodesh living, all manner of behavior. We know that. We know what the standard is. We seek to keep it and hold that. But your faith, got to be increased.
No.
Come on now. Verse 13. For thou possess my reins and have covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, that my soul know right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lower parts of the earth. Then eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. What y'all think this could be referring to? Anybody got an idea? Don't everybody answer at once. This man say, you possess my reins and cover me in my mama's womb. I'm fearful. Everybody, you love people say, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. You ever heard people say that? I hear women say it all the time. I'm fearfully and wonderfully. They ain't talking about you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't fearfully and wonderfully nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. What you think it means? I'm fearfully, wonderfully made. Your works are marvelous. My substance was not hid when I was made in secret in the lower parts of the earth. What y'all think they're talking about? Anybody got any idea whatsoever? What you got? When he was in the earth, that's when he was made to be the Son of God. This is what they're talking about. That's why they talking about fearfully, wonderfully made. This ain't got nothing to do with you. You can't be fearfully, wonderfully made till you what? Born again. And you put on, we're going to sit back, we're going to break it down, go birth by birth. So where is his mama womb at then? Well, let's look at Galatians chapter 4. Let's see where his mama womb at then. That should have been an easy one. Yeah. So put some bass in your voice.
Yeah, straight up, man.
Talking about you just said it. Ain't nobody heard nothing. So what you was over there talking about? Well, I'm just saying. I ain't saying he didn't say it, but he like.
Nigga whispered it.
He like this here.
I thought he cleared his coat.
I'm telling you. Hey. Give it here. Get away from me. Nobody play with it. Be gone. I'll take that too. I ain't going for none of that.
Somebody jamming, man.
I know, yeah.
Galatians chapter 4.
You can jam it.
Verse 25. Yeah, they outside the library, so the people in there can't hear.
That boy about to go down starting on the worm. He told like, no.
For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answer to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. We just read last night, John 16, when a woman gave birth. Let's look at Revelation chapter 12. Let's look at it. 12 and 1.
Oh,
This nigga over here done ate all them children plate. Now you over there eating nuts. I hope you don't like salty nuts.
Well, lightly salted nuts, huh? That's what she over there grubbing on.
Lightly salty. See, I like mine heavy. What? I ain't saying nothing. Y'all can get y'all mind out the gutter. You bet not, Lizzie. Look how he looking. You better get it to me. Hey, man. Kingston, find somewhere to sit. Leah, find somewhere to sit. Lizzie, go join him. I don't care. Stand by T, sit on the floor, do what you got to do. Find somewhere to sit. Because all that running through here ain't gonna, you look at me crazy all you want to stink.
Whoa.
That's your baby. You get to her, you whoop.
She listening to you, though.
Huh?
She listening to me, she ain't listening to you. Therefore, that becomes your problem. Therefore, you should whoop. Like that right now, right?
I did try to remix that off him real fast, didn't he? He almost got a platinum plaque for it. Instead he going double. Say he just came close to getting the platinum plaque. Instead he going double wood. Yeah, I know what y'all know. That's what niggas used to say back in the day. See, I know y'all young. See, you would go, niggas say if your CD went platinum gold, if it didn't go gold, niggas say you went double wood. Meaning that it sucks. It's garbage. It didn't say it. Get your mind out of the gutter, man.
What?
Water. It's a water fountain right over there. Yeah. You setting yourself up.
Live.
Just knocking it down.
Yeah.
Water. See, if you say what, who, huh, we got something for all that.
Oh,
Various ones too.
oh.
Yeah. Call it what you want.
There it is. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
they go one for that too.
So can. On the spot. 12 and 1. Book of Revelation. Look at this nigga looking like he want to fight. I got a stone cold stunner for you when I get finished.
I'm pulling that card, too. I want to see it.
No, don't get beat up with them now. We fight women. Saturday afternoons, Tuesday nights, sometimes Thursday mornings. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up under God and to his throne. Well, we know the Messiah went up to his throne in heaven to sit at the right hand of God. So we see Jerusalem giving birth. So that's when he possessed his reins in his mother's womb. Remember you said, I try the heart and I try the reins. I mean, I search your heart out, see what's in there. You know what I'm saying? When the Messiah would try, Hebrews chapter 2, verse 15. When the Messiah would try, he didn't sin. So when he was in his mother's womb, his reins had been tried. See, now we can be able to birth this in, tie this into that tree in Genesis chapter 1 and complete everything we've been looking at all week. That nigga crunk up, at least you ain't crying no more. Better watch that nigga humping your leg. You see it?
Like a pool, huh?
I ain't trying to tell you, you in heat, boy.
Chicken with no legs, no.
2 and 16. Oh, freaky little boy. Well, watch you. Stay away from my niece, nigga.
Come on.
Cut you. He say, for truly he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. For in that he himself have suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted. So when James chapter 1 verse 12, because it was in my mind earlier. So if he able to be tempted and be able to be an aid and a help and relief, don't you mean that his reins were tried? We read it in Luke 22 last night. You are those who are with me in my temptations. When my heart was tried, whether I would keep the word of God, whether I would sin or not, I stood firm. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sit back and look at that. When you try, what you gonna do? You all right? Blessed is the man that endured temptation. That's why the Messiah was blessed, wasn't he? For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord had promised to them that love. He said, I abided in my Father's love, abide ye in my love, even as I abide in my Father's love. He received the crown of life when he was risen from the dead because he endured the temptation. Hold what you got. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 3. We come back to James chapter 1. Make it 2. Hebrews 12 and 2. Now when you fall, don't cry. Looking unto Yahshua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest you be wearied and faint in your own minds. You have not yet resisted under blood, striving against sin. How many of y'all has laid your life down and shed blood not to sin? I ain't did it. Any of y'all done it. So that means you ain't got no business falling out by anything you got to endure or deal with, because you ain't risked your life not to sin yet. So that's why he sat back and told you, if you have not endured a contradiction against yourself, I ain't did nothing wrong. I'm dying for sinners and I didn't sin. You know what I'm saying? I ain't did nothing wrong and I ain't falling out acting all crazy. You ain't got no business doing it either. I endured that. I took that. James chapter 1. We in verse 13. We got to look at how he tried his reins, right? Said he tried his reins while he was in his mother's womb. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempt he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bring forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bring forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. So at the end of the day, people talk about God is a sadistic killer. Anybody God killed, you did it to yourself. Man already told you what the lick read. You do this, you die. So whose fault is that? Is it God's fault Eve listened to Satan? Well, he the one son her out there. He ain't said nothing. She didn't have to listen to him. Now, since I said it, we read in Revelation 12 last night that Satan was the accuser of the brethren, right? Job chapter 1, so you can see the nigga doing it. You all right? Look at it, boy. That nigga stay sitting like an old man. Say you too young to be sitting like that.
They say like gold.
Go to like say Sharon in here sitting like you, old man style. I had an old man sit like this here. I seen old crazy people, they still killing Giselle talking about your mama thick starter kid. I said, what these niggas a fool. They said they had them sandals and the Miller High Life. So you think just like your mama. Somebody ever came and told one of y'all that? If somebody you knew, nigga knew you when you were little too, then. Nasty nigga. That's the nigga that be killing me. It's a nigga who watched you when you were 4, 5 years old. Tell my girl, you get thick like your mama. So you been a so how long you been a pedophile? That's why a nigga had swung on R. Kelly a couple years back, because he had ended up sleeping with his daughter after she turned 18, and he was like, man, you knew her from a baby. So what was you doing when she was about 9, 10 years old? She looked like she gonna be a stallion. Hit that. That's what your head been doing. I think they wanted to. They just had enough sense not to.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Cause that's how I'm gonna look at it. If I got a friend and you knew my daughter from the time she was a child and watched her grow up and you slept with her, how long you been a pedophile? You know what I'm saying? That's just weird. I couldn't walk up to nobody and I could see like, oh, you looking like your mama, that'd be the end of it. Not, you think like your mama. Girl, you think just like your mama. And you know me since I was 4, sir. Since I was 4. That's got to be weird. That made y'all feel awkward when the niggas told you that, didn't it? That made you feel awkward. That done made me
They
disgusted.
covered up. That girl, you growing up, girl.
Oh yeah, that's the cover up.
Well, you growing up.
That's the
You
line.
getting grown.
You getting grown. Nigga say that booty poking out. That's what he trying to tell you. There's a penis over here, you want it. What she told you?
She's talking about you gonna use it. Oh, no.
We ain't that old to be using that.
For real. Well, I don't know nowadays, boy.
Well, I mean, now if anybody that we went to school with got a child that young, now they starting to hit 16, 17, 18 years old. Now they touching it.
Man, these niggas was saying stuff like that, man.
Yeah, I know it. To niggas, to the girls who we were going to school with, because they watched them grow up.
That's what I heard.
I mean, nigga done heard them niggas say that, man. Walk up to 10 like, you known this girl. See, we this, that, there, and the other. Now we, I remember I called my homeboy, I called Sherman.
I heard a grown man ask a girl out the car, when you turn 18, you ain't 18 yet? Walking home from school every day. When you turn 18?
Oh yeah, they say you got 3, 4 more pecan seeds. You be ready. That mean you legal then I can tap that. It was niggas around my way, they ain't even care. But I'm telling you, man, I caught my homeboy, man, little girls, man, they grew up playing with little muffins. I'm out there in the apartment, man, I said, boy, you better get your black behind from over there. Man, what? Man, I don't want to hear none of that there, boy. I watched them grow up, boy, I wouldn't care what you talking about. And I known them when they were little, ain't no way in the world I'm going to walk up, you getting thick like your mama, because they mama was fine. You know what Ain't no lie, they ain't even no exaggeration. She wore it now.
That smooth ass
I mean, she wore it now. I'm talking about all of them when we were young like this here, like, boy, they're fine. You know what I'm saying? And her boyfriend used to invite us over to the house to play video game, and she in there in the nightgown. You know what I'm saying? Now we 13, 14, 15 years old. You got no business walking around us like that. And everybody trying to cop a look.
Everybody want to go
Well, you can't help but see that. That woman used to walk around there in the nightgown, nigga. He calling us in the house to play Tecmo Bowl. We come in the house to play Tecmo Bowl, step half naked.
Nigga losing every game.
You know what I'm saying? You play, she can point out you want a nigga 13. Yeah, I'm trying to see. What you mean?
Catching woodies.
You know what I'm talking about? What you mean? I ain't finna tell you no lie. Say I wasn't trying to like see. You don't want Judd to notice that you looking. You trying to steal you one. Judd was the type of nigga be like, yeah, boy, I know. He was one of them. You know what I'm saying? He was one of them real niggas like that there. Yeah, I know. I know. You know what I'm saying? I tell Sherry, you can get your nasty butt from over there, boy. You know what I'm saying? There'll never come a time period a nigga look at them and be like they fine. Even if they were. Never. Because I don't see that. I see them when they 5.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to see. I remember when you ain't had no titties. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All that there. That's all I'm going to see. That's the difference. That's when you know a nigga nasty. When you knew them when they were that little and you see this. You don't see that. Because when I see them, I see this. Because it don't matter that little muffin married with children. I don't see that there. You know what I'm saying? You just, I told you when you fall, don't cry. You know what I'm saying? You just see the real little muffin. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look back. I see Tiffany and Brittany, I don't see that. I see Tiffany and Brittany that play with little muffin. They around here running around acting crazy. Getting on our nerve, talking about I want a 100 dribble. You know what I'm saying? I want this here. You don't see them being grown. I'm talking about nigga ain't even got enough. Nigga knocking the nigga clean out. I wouldn't care. I'm 17 like she is. I don't care. Nigga, get from over here. You ain't got no business around here. I'm just being for real, man. That's nasty. Niggas just nasty. Job chapter 1, man, about verse 7. Matter of fact, make it 2. Job 2:1, that's where it's at. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before Yah, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yah. You do see the difference. And Satan came among them. That means Satan is not a son of God. Book showing you that clear as day. He wouldn't say he came among them, meaning among the sons of God, if he was counted as one. Niggas always talking about context and ain't got no reading comprehension skills. And And Yah said unto Satan, from whence come thou? And Satan answered Yah and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Yah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Now there is none like him in the earth. You know that what he said? None like him. There's another place where we're going to read in the book of Job where it says, ain't nobody like him. There's none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fear God. We know Yahshua was heard in that he feared, right? Eschew evil. You just heard when a man was tempted and he did not sin. And he still hold fast his integrity, although thou moved me against him to destroy him without cause. Yahshua held fast his integrity, even though the Father did move. He didn't do nothing wrong. He was dying for our sin, but he didn't do nothing wrong. Yahshua still stood to the word. See, that's what you have to sit back and look at. That's why he say, blessed are thee when you be reviled and persecuted for my name's sake wrongfully. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to what we looked at, if you can accept what we read in 1 Peter chapter 2 last night. If you can accept persecution and you ain't did nothing wrong and you can take it, that's acceptable before God. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you can't take, if you ain't did nothing wrong and you can take it, God can accept that. That's why he took Job. That's why he accepted Job. He said Job ain't did nothing wrong. And all of that, Job's sin was he was righteous in his own eyes. That's what it says. You know what I'm saying? I had a dude tell me it don't say that. Book say plain as day. Job was righteous in his own eyes. That was his sin. But in forfeit, going against God's word, no matter what happened to him, he never turned from the word. No matter what happened to the Messiah, he never turned. Okay, my family died. I lost my house. I got these boils. My friends speaking against me. All this here. I'm going to still stand on. That's the type of mind we got to have. Look what else he said. Satan answered Yah and said, skin for skin, yea, and all that a man have will he give for his life. Put forth thy hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. You heard what he meant? That's a real live chump right there. He was accusing the man. You heard what he said? Skin for skin. A man will give everything he got for his life. Why you think the Lord turned back around and said you got to lose your life to gain it? And if you save your life, you're going to lose it. See, Job was willing to give up everything to save his life. He was willing to lose it. Let's look at that John chapter 12. Hold it, Job chapter 12. Look at that John chapter 12, while I'm thinking about it. It's about 5 o'clock. Hey. About 30, 45 minutes, y'all can play like you ain't got no brain. But not right now. Hey, Tissy, is it? John 12, verse 24. Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abide alone. But if it die, it bring forth much fruit. He that love his life shall lose it. And he that hates his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. When we sit back and look at Job, when he lost everything he had, he counted it as gain, didn't he? Let's go back and see in Job chapter 2. Move your feet, lose your seat. You two niggas get together. They cannot chill out. Job 2, verse 7. So when Satan went Satan forth from the presence of Yah, and smote Job with sore boils, from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him,